Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing ranking my palettes from August. I am doing a makeup haul / low buy video every single month to share with you guys the products that I picked up for that certain month. So I am gonna go ahead and start for the August palettes that I picked up. I finally got around to using all of them. I currently am trying to use my September and October palettes. That way I can put them in a video for you guys. So if you want to see how I ranked my palettes for the palettes that I picked up in August, definitely continue watching. Also, if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. I do upload 3 times a week, Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So definitely subscribe so you don't miss out. And let's just go ahead and jump right in. I have 6 palettes to rank for you guys that I picked up again in the month of August. Again, I think I only picked up 2 palettes in September, and then I have a whole bunch of palettes to share with you guys for the month of October. So I am going to be using all of those palettes and ranking them for you guys. We are going to go ahead and get started. Again, I do have 6 palettes to share with you guys. The first palette that I'm ranking at number 6 is this Viseart Paris Nudes palette. I have only swatched this. It's actually on my Poshmark, so if you guys are interested in taking it off my hands, this is what the palette looks like. I have only swatched 3 shadows. I picked this up because, what was it? Muse Beauty had 2 palettes. Buy 2 palettes, get like 2 brushes and a liner for free. I don't know. I think it was like, I don't remember the deal, to be honest, but it was actually a really good deal because these palettes retail for $80. So I decided to pick this up in recommendation of Morgan Turner here on YouTube. She loves this palette. She said it's really, really good for freelancing. My clients that I do freelancing for, they like more of like a pinky champagne kind of color on the lid, and these shades, as you can see here, they're not really pinky champagnes. Like this one would work out really well, and this one, like these two, this one's really gold on the lid. So I decided to just not use this anymore and just go ahead and put it up on my Poshmark because, again, it's just not what I'm looking for my freelance kit. So this is definitely number 6. The shimmers of the Viseart formula are super, super nice, but I'm just ranking it again 6 because what I bought it for isn't gonna work out for my freelancing kit, so that is why this is number 6. Next up for number 5, I put this Kylie Cosmetics the Sort of Sweet palette. It doesn't even say what it's called on the actual palette. I threw the box away, but I'm pretty sure this is a Sort of Sweet palette. If it's not, then I'll put the name on the screen. All the Kylie palettes look like this, standard 9-pan palettes, and here's what this one looks like. I actually ranked this number 5 because it's more of like an everyday neutral type of palette. I do like it, and it does actually have pretty good pigmentation. In August, I was really into like just natural nude type of palettes, and now that I've getting a chance to use like palettes from August and September, I'm like, why did I pick up this palette? Like I was just in a little funk there where I didn't want any colorful looks, so I was just picking up like neutral palettes because I have mostly colorful palettes in my collection. But this palette's actually really nice. The shimmers are good as well. They're not super like shimmery or anything like that, but they're pretty nice for everyday use. The mattes in here are really good as well. This shade called Raspberry Sugar is very pretty. Glazed, and then Cocoa here. These are all, again, pretty pigmented, perfect for everyday use. And I also did pick up this palette on sale for $19. Here are some swatches. As you can see, the shimmers are actually really nice. So yeah, I'm ranking this palette number 5. I don't think it's a bad palette if you'd like to pick it up. I say definitely go for it. I did pick it up when it was on sale for $19, and I like it, so I would definitely recommend it. It's just number 5 because the other palettes that I have here are a little better than this one. Ranking at number 4, I have the Colourpop Garden Variety palette. The packaging is beautiful. I actually really like the palette. I do find that a couple shades in here, like the purple and then this color, like a brownie olive color, are actually more on the drier side. The shimmers are super nice. I do like the Colourpop formula. I just wish they would have came out with this palette like in the springtime, but again, maybe they got held back because of the pandemic and stuff like that, so maybe that's why they didn't launch it sooner. The only reason why I'm ranking this number 4 is because of the two mattes in here. Like, I think it would have ranked a little higher. Now, Colourpop's pretty nice. I like the shimmer shades. They're actually super nice. I am actually wearing the Colourpop Hocus Pocus palette on my eyes, if you guys are wondering. I created a look. I haven't posted on Instagram for over a month. So I was like, girl, get your stuff together, create a look so you can post on Instagram. So that is the look that I have here. So if you guys are interested, it's from the Hocus Pocus palette from Colourpop. So again, the shimmers are super pretty. I wish they would have launched this palette during the springtime, but again, this year is crazy. It's already October. It's gonna be the end of the year super soon, and then it'll be 2021. Like, this year just went by super fast. I do like it. The shimmers are super nice. I love the Colourpop formula. I've never really had issues besides a few like matte shades that are a little drier than other palettes, but overall I do like it, and I really love the packaging. It's like has like raised packaging. It's very pretty. So now on to top 3 palettes. Ranking at number 3. Okay, so my top 3 were actually kind of hard just because I really like them, and I was actually very like, no, should I do this instead of that? For my pick number 3, I wanted to put this in second place. I kept going back and forth, but then ended up deciding this should be my third pick. My number 3 from the 6 palettes, which is the Be Perfect Carnival 3 palette. The only reason why is because I haven't really used all of the shades in here, plus it's a very colorful palette. It's not something you could really use every single day. Well, I guess I could, but you'll see number 2 and number 1 why I ranked this at number 3. I really like it. I think the shades in here are super pretty. I love that I have like everything I would need in this palette here. I really enjoyed the shades I used down here. They're more like grungy shades. The greens are very pretty. I did use the purples in here. The purples did seem a little more drier than the other shades, but I think it just is because it's a purple shadow. Overall, I really like this palette. I just ranked it number 3 just because I haven't really used all of the shades in here, but I just went with this being number 3 just because it's not super wearable. Even though I do like colorful looks and I do wear color to work, it's just not really a palette that I could be using to work appropriate. I have an office job, so it's not like I wore a green look to work, and I kind of was like feeling like I was wearing a little too much makeup for work, like color. But overall, again, I do like this, so I am ranking this my pick number 3. So my number 2 palette goes to the Tiny Marvels palette by Sydney Grace. This palette is very pigmented, and it's a perfect everyday palette with a few pops of colors here and there. I do find that this purple shade doesn't really show up on my skin tone, but other than that, I think it's a very beautiful everyday palette. And here are some swatches on the palette. Those shimmers, look how reflective and beautiful they are. I kind of swatched this shimmer over a matte that I previously swatched, but these are very reflective and very beautiful. I forgot how amazing the Sydney Grace formula was, and I think I had to rate this at number 2 just because it's a really good everyday palette. Plus you get those beautiful shimmer shades in here as well. I was kind of sad when I saw the inside because I really loved the packaging, and I was hoping that she would take these shades into the packaging. But now that I've been able to test out the palette and the shades, I really like the palette, and I'm actually very happy I was able to pick it up and also support Mel Thompson because she is one that collabed with Sydney Grace on this palette. So I'm definitely happy I picked this up. Definitely had to rank it at number 2 just because it's a little more wearable than my third pick. And then the final palettes that I have for you guys, that is my number 1 pick from the 6 that I used, is definitely going to my Viseart Neutral Matte Milieu palette. Oh my god, I love this palette. It's so pigmented. These are like my everyday kind of shades. I really enjoyed this palette so much. I just really enjoyed this palette. I think the only shade I didn't use from this palette when I used it in a Shop My Stash was the blue, possibly. I'm pretty sure I probably used it. I'm not sure. But overall, this palette is beautiful. Definitely enjoyed this palette a lot. And I definitely knew when I was putting all my palettes out, this was going to be number 1 because I was just super impressed with this palette when I used it. It's very pigmented. It does have some kickback, but these are just my kind of everyday go-to shades, and it's just perfect. I had no issues with pigmentation or anything like that. I do wish they had a few mattes here and there, like the formula from the Sydney Grace in here would be awesome. But actually, the Viseart shimmer formula is actually super nice as well. But I do like that this is an all matte palette, and I compare it with like an all shimmer palette as well. Overall, I had to put this #1 pick because I just really enjoyed it and I fell in love with this palette from the first time I used it. So those are my rankings for the month of August. Let me know what palettes have you recently been using that you loved, or even one that you haven't loved, you thought you would and you didn't. So I'd love to know. Let me know down in the comments section. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please also subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!